There are three major headlines that are happening this week that will have major implications for the crypto space and altcoin season. Whether it comes later in the summer or whether it's delayed once again, you want to pay attention to these three headlines. We also have a bonus one towards the end of the video. If you're serious about your crypto gains, make sure to watch this video all the way until the end. And if you enjoy it, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe. All right, let's go. Already within the last couple of days, there has been absolute chaos in the crypto markets. 1 minute we are rallying, the next minute we are falling. But today, this kicks off a lot of news stories over the next couple of days that could have a major impact. And again, while I think that they will end up leaning bullish, I want to make sure we're very clear here. We're not financial advisors, and there's a very real chance that crypto could begin to experience some sort of crash. But I will explain to you in this video what is going on with the news stories, what my personal opinion is, and what I'm seeing going on in the charts. So if you guys are ready, go ahead right now, drop in the comment section if you're watching. Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you confident or are you scared? I would love to know how you guys are feeling at this point in time. Let's start off with the first major story you need to be aware of happening today. It's June 17th, and we have been looking forward for several weeks now to the XRP spot ETF approval from the SEC, but it turns out the first story today actually might be a little bit of a damper. According to Eleanor Tourette, who's responding to a tweet from James K. Phelan, she said that the SEC and Ripple have filed a status report with the Second Circuit and are asking to keep a pause on the appeals while waiting on a decision from the district court. Well, technically, this headline has nothing to do with Franklin Templeton's filing for a spot XRP ETF, which was supposed to get a decision today. I find it highly unlikely that if Ripple and SEC are still deciding terms on how to classify XRP, how would you approve a spot ETF when there's still a lawsuit technically behind the scenes between the SEC and XRP? This is, I think, a long-term, very beneficial thing. I think the new SEC is working along with Ripple to make sure both parties end up coming out of this happy. But I think, once again, what we're realistically looking at here is another delay from the SEC that we will not get an answer probably until after August 15th at this point. This isn't what necessarily XRP holders want to hear, and maybe I'm wrong. We have to continue to pay attention the rest of today to find out what this decision looks like. I just would find it very highly unlikely, once again, for them to continue to not know how to classify XRP, and yet at the same time, they're approving spot ETFs. The second big headline happening this week is that FOMC meeting is tomorrow. And yes, the Investing Bros will be live at 1:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to cover all of it tomorrow. Here's the deal. The rates are going to stay paused. I believe there's a 99.8% chance right now that the Fed is going to keep rates paused. But the bigger thing that I just tweeted out here a little bit ago, make sure you're following me on Twitter at Tims_TA, is it's not about the actual decision that will come out. It's about how Jerome Powell will respond in the press conference about the future. If we hear any type of dovishness, if we hear any expectation that rate cuts should be coming, we won't have to wait until July or September for the actual cuts to happen. We would see cryptocurrencies begin to get a little bit of a spark as a tune change comes from Jerome Powell. However, if he continues to echo hawkishness, if he continues to talk about the uncertainty of the future, scaring people, this could be one of the bigger catalysts that brings about a larger pullback for the altcoin space. Once again, if you're curious about how this will play out, tune in tomorrow for our Wednesday live show, 1:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll watch it with you live. The third big headline hitting this week is another one happening today, and there's a bill update according to the Investing Bros Twitter account. Once again, go follow us over on X at Investing Bros. The Senate will hold its final passage vote on the Genius stablecoin bill today at 4:30 p.m., marking the last vote before legislation moves to the House. There are 50 days left before August recess. That's August 8th to the 15th. Any significant delays in the House could delay the passage of Genius until around September 9th through the 13th. So we won't get an official approval today. Today will be a massive move in the right direction to further have clarity about how stable coins will be used. We need this to pass so it can go back to the House, and hopefully before the end of summer, we have the clarity we've been looking for. But once again, while that's the positive side, and I do believe they're going to pass it today, if there's another long delay, once again, this clarification could have to be held off until the end of summer, early into the fall, which would bring a delay to that altcoin season. Now, these are the three big crypto-specific headlines that you need to be paying attention to. They all have the possibilities of being extremely bullish, but they also all three have possibilities of bringing bearishness to the markets. I wish I could sit here and tell you that I have a crystal ball about which direction the markets are going, but the fact is nobody has one of those. All we can do is speculate based off of the news we have at this moment, and we take a look at the charts to decide what the future kind of looks like from a probability standpoint. But before I move into the charts and tell you what I think the future could look like for some of the key altcoins out there, I want to actually offer a fourth story that will have a massive impact. And yes, this is a story that everyone has been talking about for the last week and some change. Will we see a larger escalation of war between Israel and Iran? If you've not been staying up to date on the developments here, we have a lot of chaos going on right here in the United States as President Trump seems to go back and forth on his position. While I truly believe he wants to reach some sort of a peace deal, it does seem in recent days that he's expressed such frustration that's causing several people to believe there's actually a legitimate chance that Trump might send United States troops to Iran for war. Now, while I'm not smart enough on this situation to speculate and tell you exactly how I think is going to play out, I have my personal opinions, and I know you have yours as well. I put out a poll this morning over on X asking how you think this is going down. Do you think that Trump actually is legitimately thinking about going to war, or is this trying to force a peace deal? And currently, people on my X account are voting that he thinks that this is a deal-getting situation. I think this is a force in the hand of Iran to make a deal. At this point, I think the only person who knows what's happening in Donald Trump's brain is Donald Trump. Now, we made a video last week that I told you guys that historically, these types of events seem to be massive fear-mongering issues that want retail investors to sell off right before a major rally. But the reality is nobody knows for certain how this will move. In fact, I think there's a highly probable situation that if America does end up going to war, that more than likely would be the beginning of World War III and would be bad for way more than just the crypto prices. However, with that said, we also know that Donald Trump is the man who wrote the book, The Art of the Deal, and he is not afraid to go to extremes to get the things that he wants. So let me know in the comments down below. Do you believe that we are on the brink of World War III, or is this simply Trump playing hardball to get the peace deal he wants in the Middle East? To give you a little bit of peace and potential comfort on the issue, the oil markets, if we were on the brink of a massive breakout in war, would be skyrocketing right now. Several analysts have even predicted if a massive war were to break out, that we could see the price of oil shoot up over $120 per barrel. But despite all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt that has been happening in the last 12 or so hours, oil prices remain constant here right around $72 per barrel. This doesn't mean that war is not going to happen, but more often than not, oil prices seem to front-run major events. And at the moment, the oil markets don't seem to be pricing in any type of major conflict. Does this mean that people investing in oil are calling fake news on the war reports and they believe a peace deal is close? You can be the judge of that, but for right now, oil charts are staying low. When it comes to the cryptocurrency space, as much as people are afraid about the pullbacks this morning in Bitcoin, as Bitcoin's back down below 105,000, the reality is we're still trending in an upward motion here with this green level of support. If we do lose this level, I think it's potentially likely to come back down towards 103,000. But for now, we're still seeing a lot of support holding on the crypto markets. When it comes to the altcoin space, I've been very adamant that Ethereum is going to be a major coin to be watching. And as long as its support level, this rising green line, is held up, and we're looking at levels around 2,400, there's not necessarily a lot of reason to be worried about the grander scheme of altcoin season. Same with XRP. XRP just continues to trade sideways inside of this channel. And as long as we stay with XRP prices over $2, people really do not need to be freaking out. If these levels are lost, though, with XRP below $2, Ethereum below $2,400, then I think you have to genuinely ask the question, will altcoin season once again be paused and held off until the fall of 2025 or even spring of 2026? But for now, I still believe the Composite Man has you exactly where he wants you. The prices really aren't dropping dramatically, but you're freaking out. You are scared of major escalation. You're scared of a major crash. That's the perfect recipe to convince you to sell and he gets to buy. I'm not telling you there's a guarantee that markets are about to skyrocket. All I can do is look at past events, look at tendencies, look at the chart, and analyze the news to explain probabilities. Right now, in my personal view, the probabilities of a rally over the next 7 days outweigh the probabilities of a pullback. But I am prepared for them both ways, with stop losses put in for my trades and major take profit levels put up above at levels of resistance. If you want to learn how to do this, once again, we have a VIP trading group where every day I take your questions, I live trade with you, I tell you what the markets and news mean for right now. We've been going back and forth here recently. Some days we're longing, some days we're shorting. The good news is, no matter what the markets do, when you understand the news and you understand how to read the charts, you can make money in bullish and bearish markets. So if that's something you're interested in, check out the link down below. Come join that VIP trading group today. I'll see you over there. For the rest of you, that's the end of this video. Once again, let me know in the comments section, are you falling for the FUD right now, or are you buying every dip that you can? I still believe a roaring bull market is coming. The question at this point is when, not if. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content. I'll see you in the next video. Adios.